Caught in the Seattle rain, I watch Nolan, an old man, sitting alone on a park bench. His suit is too sharp for the weather, he looks out of place among the runners and dog walkers. In his palm rests a tiny gold ring, turning slowly as if it burns. His shoulders droop. A little girl stands in front of him, pink jacket pulled tight, her cheeks red from cold. She asks, voice gentle but clear, "Will you sell your sadness to me?" Those words hang in the air like fog. Nolan looks at her, startled, then at the ring, then at her again. I see his hand tremble. The bench is cold, rain sharp, yet the girl's small hand brushes his as she sits beside him uninvited. There's no awkwardness, not for her. For him, every muscle is tight as memory flickers behind tired eyes. If you've ever wondered what pure sorrow looks like, watch an old man remember. In the pause, I see Nolan drift away, a younger self in a Texas bedroom, skin against skin, laughter pressed between mouths before it was swallowed by regret. He doesn't say anything to the girl yet. He never thought he'd see that face again, not in this lifetime. If you were Nolan, would you let a stranger buy your sadness? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Nolan's daily routine is simple. Every morning he walks the park, orders the same black coffee from the stand, and avoids the big mirror in his hallway. Age clings to him, not just in wrinkles, but in the way he moves, always at half speed, always bracing for disappointment. Behind a tree, the girl is watching him. She isn't shy. She looks straight through Nolan's bravest face, tracking every sigh, every frown, every nervous touch of the ring he keeps twirling. A moment from long ago crawls into his head, a silk scarf pulled up under his chin, hands slipping inside his shirt while laughter and secrecy hummed in the darkness. It was the kind of touch that promised everything, then left nothing but questions. He shakes it off but the memory crystallizes in his bones. The girl's eyes are unblinking. She asks, "Are you really as sad as you look?" That question is a mirror, reflecting words he heard years back from another woman, a whisper in a hotel hallway as he left her waiting. Have you ever met someone who saw your pain before you said a word? Tell us in the comments if you felt revealed without speaking. Rain turns steady as the girl sits closer. From her pocket, she produces an envelope, its corners battered, stuffed with crumpled bills. She pushes it toward Nolan, hands shaking just a little. "I'll buy your saddest memory." He tries to laugh, a brittle sound that cracks the silence. But she's serious, her fingers grip his sleeve, and something shakes inside him. The jolt of contact, the pulse under skin. He remembers hot hands pulling his collar, nails scraping beneath fabric in an expensive Texas suite. Old temptation, sweet for one night, costing him for decades. Nolan nearly says no, voice choked. But then he sees her mother watching from the shadows, a tall woman, worn face, eyes blazing with both hope and anger. With the rain drumming on, Nolan nods once, agreeing to the deal no lawyer could draft. He starts to speak, his words stumble, heart pounding as he dredges up a night in Texas. He describes a decision that made him richer than he ever thought possible, but left someone behind, alone. The girl's mother, Leah, comes near now, her face both sharp and soft. She knows him. Her eyes hold bolts of recognition, but her posture demands a reckoning. The wind catches her hair, her jaw is set. Memory flashes again, bare feet twisted in bedsheets, their bodies desperate and foolish by candlelight, a kiss too fierce to last. A fight too quiet to remember, but its consequences echo every step he's taken since. Leah's voice cracks. Let him finish. I need to hear every word. I watch as two grown people stand together in the storm, their secrets at last brought under open sky. Nolan's voice is rough now, the words fighting to come out. He talks about deals, money moved like checkers on a board, buildings swapped for cash, papers signed and destinies changed in a single night. He admits he never thought about who lived in the buildings he bought, except once, the woman whose eviction haunted him. Leah breaks her silence, eyes shiny with tears and steel. She tells her story, a newborn in her lap, no home to shelter them. She slept in her car, whispered secrets to her child about strength and anger and forgiveness. She doesn't try to hide her pain or her furious longing. Her memories run hot and sticky, the Georgia summers, sweat on skin, her heart trembling with both the ache of desire and the dread of leaving Nolan's world for good. She left a mansion with nothing but determination and stories nobody believed. Ava, the girl, is listening hard now. She starts to piece together the story, chewing her lip, eyes wide with the realization of truths neither adult wanted to speak. Air hangs hot and sticky the day the trip begins, even as planes whisk them from gray Seattle to a heavy Georgia summer. Ava clutches a notebook, pages stuffed with addresses and handwritten notes. Nolan sits beside her, chest tight, eyes locked on Leah. Silence draws them close, southeast roads and southern pines sliding past bus windows, memories returning with every mile. In a cramped motel room, regret and longing pool in the quiet. Nolan's apology tastes bitter. He faces Leah, admits he remembers too much, the look on her face when she realized she'd lost everything, the relief and shame when he cashed another check. Leah stands at the window, back curved with sorrow, fighting the old ache, fighting the urge to turn, to ask for comfort, to demand answers. Their eyes lock. Her anger flickers, confusion chases it, and the room fills with unspoken questions. Old passion lingers, flaring despite the years of bitterness. When night falls, Ava lays out her evidence, every address, every broken promise Nolan made, traced alongside Leah's life map. You always said the past never mattered, Ava says, voice small yet sharp. But I kept track. A storm rattles the hotel windows. The room is tight, holding 2 beds but only one shared history. Rain pelts the street, low thunder drowning the city's hum. Nolan wants to talk, Leah sits on her bed, twisting a cheap bracelet, her jaw tight. Lightning flashes. Leah's confession comes like a whisper, I almost loved you once. I nearly let you save me. Words spill, coated in fatigue and want. They edge toward each other, one hand reaches, then stops, tension hanging, breathless. The world outside blurs away. Leah's knee brushes Nolan's thigh in the dark, her voice drops even lower. Why didn't you come back for me? Old wounds bleed into new longing, a brush of fingertips, a possible kiss that never finishes. They don't cross the room's last boundary, not yet. A knock jars both to attention. Someone's at the door. The past refuses to rest, its return hangs in the air like the storm that won't move on. Atlanta's City Hall blazes with voices, one section packed with angry tenants, another with reporters. Ava stands before Nolan, her notes spread out, her purpose certain. You changed my mother's life, but you didn't care who paid the cost. Nolan faces the crowd, eyes fixed on Leah, forming an alliance born not of love, but necessity. Nolan confesses quietly into the mic. The words scrape out, names named, places marked. Behind him, Leah's head lifts. Their glances are sharp, bouncing like nerves exposed, the pulse of blame, of truth, of want that can't be named but simmers just below the surface. This is not forgiveness yet, it's something rawer, 2 people furious at the world and each other, tethered only by shared fallout. A woman steps forward from the crowd, a former tenant. There's more to every story, she says, voice shaking. Her admission leaves even Leah and Ava questioning what they thought they knew, Nolan's misdeeds, but also his private acts of mercy no one reported. The room holds its breath. Have you ever realized someone you blamed wasn't all bad, or all good? Hit like if you believe people can change. Drop your take in the comments. Press and Payne circle Nolan, microphones in his face, demanding answers for years of secrets. Ava fires questions, reporters want to pick him apart. Leah, quieter, saves her questions for last. When the noise fades, her voice holds, why didn't you look for me after Atlanta? Was I just another business mistake? Nolan hesitates, eyes shiny in the harsh lights. You were the one thing I wanted to fix. But I was a coward, and I believed you were better off. His hand almost reaches for hers, trembling. She almost lets him, but snaps away, trauma-laced with temptation. Silence swells, apology lingering in the inch of air between their faces. In that pause, a bombshell cracks open, questions about Ava's father. Is Nolan her dad? Eyes fly to Leah. The whole room leans forward, breaths caught. Old stories mix with present danger, and no one knows what the next answer will cost. The results come in, a slip of paper with the kind of truth you can't bury. Nolan reads it, Leah reads it too. Ava's eyes are wide, unreadable. Nolan could be her father. Years of rage and longing crash together, and Leah can barely stand to look at him, can barely stay away. Their fight explodes behind closed doors, accusations and sobbing, harsh words and wild hope, the spark of old desire. Leah's anger gives way to vulnerability, tears spilling as she asks, how do I trust you with her, with us, when you left both? That vulnerability draws Nolan in. He holds her, midnight's silence their only witness. Emotion floods between them, bodies pressed together, grief and hunger tangled, comfort found in the heat of desperation. In the next room, Ava overhears her mother's confession. Hurt and angry, she bolts, running from truths too harsh to hold, slamming the door on parents tied together by past choices and a child who deserved better. Atlanta turns raw in the dark. Leah and Nolan rush through streets and alleys, voices hoarse with worry as they call Ava's name. Fear strips them bare, no room for pride or old wounds. Leah curses the city, frantic with regret, her hands clumsy as she shows strangers Ava's photo. Nolan tries to keep calm, but his eyes roam every shadow, mind racing with every bad thing that could happen. They blame each other for the pain. Leah says Nolan brought trouble, Nolan says Leah pushed him away first. In the middle of this panic, old needs bubble up. When they finally stop to rest in a narrow hallway, Leah falls into Nolan's arms, exhausted. They hold each other too tight, sorrow turning into hunger for comfort. Her tears soak his shirt, his lips find her forehead, and the anger fades for a moment, replaced by the need to feel close, if only for a breath. A call comes after midnight. Ava's been found, safe, reading Nolan's old letters under the playground slide they'd passed hours ago. Leah and Nolan hurry to her. Their embrace now isn't about blame or pity. It's heated and messy, relief and love tangled together, kissed with gratitude under cheap streetlights. The playground holds all three now, breathing hard, eyes red. Ava sits with her knees tucked tight, the letters spread around her. Leah drops to her side in the sand, Nolan kneeling too. Silence sits between them until Ava speaks, I need to know you'll tell the truth. No more hiding, no more pride. It's not an easy promise. Nolan's hands shake as he says, you can ask anything. Leah nods, eyes wet. Secrets come fast. Leah admits every story told to Ava, Nolan explains every fear that kept him away, Ava reveals what it's like knowing she will always be the echo of an old mistake. There are tears, gasps, even bitter words, but there's no walking away tonight. The pain is raw, so is the comfort. Leah leans her head on Nolan's shoulder. Their bodies pressed together in the open night, old scars kissed, forgiveness rising like a tide they thought would never return. The future is unclear, but for the first time, all three share a quiet hope. Ava's voice, soft and real, come with us to Seattle. Start over. Back in Seattle, the past doesn't vanish, it changes the air in Leah's small apartment. Leah, Nolan, and Ava move together a little awkwardly at first, learning new routines, mistakes, and apologies. There's tension and shy laughter. Every day, Nolan tries something new, pouring Leah's coffee, leaving a note on Ava's breakfast, sweeping up crumbs no one else sees. Trust builds slowly, nights spent talking in the kitchen, sharing fears under a thin blanket, teaching one another how to start over. Leah and Nolan rediscover gentle touches, a hand at her waist as she cooks, lips on her neck when she laughs. Sometimes music drifts across the rooms and Leah drags Nolan into a silly dance, barefoot and grinning, candlelight bouncing off their cheeks while Ava films with a smile. There's still pain, but it's bearable, shaped now by hope instead of loss. One evening, Nolan stands in the living room, takes off the gold ring, and holds it out to Leah. "I don't want to let sorrow rule me anymore," he says. Hand in hand, they watch the sun slip behind the city buildings, ready for a different kind of story. Nolan and Leah sit together at the kitchen table, Ava reading nearby. They talk about the past, full honesty now, their own failures, what Ava deserves next, what fairness might look like after so much was lost. Conversation is long, voice is low. Nolan asks Leah, "What do you want, really?" Leah surprises him. "I want more than money. I want safety for every family who lost everything like I did. And I want you to be a real father, if you can." Nolan nods, a plan forms. He offers to fund a community trust in Leah's name, deeds for families displaced by careless deals of the past. He wants it to be public, real, and lasting. Leah agrees, her pride melting as she realizes Nolan means it this time, no more running away. That night, trust becomes touch. In the small apartment, Leah and Nolan come together slow and tender, bodies remembering what hearts once forgot. Their laughter is quiet, their kisses deep and grateful. Ava watches TV in the next room, her smile giving them courage. This isn't about fixing the past, but building something new. In the dark, Ava's voice calls softly, "I forgave you both long ago. Can you forgive each other?" The answer comes in gentle kisses and shared breath under new sheets. A new day rises over the same Seattle park where everything began. Today, Nolan, Leah, and Ava sit on the same bench, their hands joined. Around them, neighbors, former tenants, and families gather for a small ceremony, the opening of the new trust, families ready to move into safe homes. Nolan lets Leah stand at the front, his pride clear. Ava is next to them, full of quiet happiness and more at home than she's ever been. Coffee cups tremble in the morning breeze. Leah and Nolan share looks over steaming lids, a touch here, a squeeze there, hope replacing sorrow a little more each minute. Nolan laughs, eyes glinting. Leah's hand finds his knee, her thumb tracing circles that say more than words. Ava captures every moment on her old phone, determined not to forget that good things can start where pain once lived. I close with this: sometimes, it takes losing everything to finally stop selling your sadness, and start giving love. What did this story mean to you? Type your favorite moment or lesson in the comments. And if you believe in new beginnings, hit that subscribe button for more stories that heal, that hurt, and that make us whole.